Oh, my microphone's in the shot. Let's move that quick. How's everybody doing today? We're just having kind of a chill day because I realized, well, first of all, I realized, remember,
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can't hear you.
You should be able to. It's showing that there's sound.
Okay, I can hear you over there.
Alright, so it's not that. Okay. Well, I'm glad we got that figured out. But anyway, we're having a chill stream because I was going to play a game. And then I realized, like, a few months ago I made ornaments for the cryptid screen. Okay, I'm glad you can hear me. So it's just Doug's computer that's not liking him today, apparently. So I was like, it shows I can hear you, or I can hear me. And, like, I checked it. I always check before I start. I try and listen in to make sure the sound levels aren't super great. Especially this time since I had my microphone moved around last time. And, like, I had to greatly increase the gain to be able to have people hear me when I wasn't sitting right next to it. So I checked it again. But anyway. So I'd made the ornaments a few months ago. And then I realized I had forgotten one person. And I was just like, oh, I'll just make it quick later on. And I never did that. So we're going to make that today. And also I just didn't feel like... There is a new League of Path of Exile out right now, which is a game that I like playing, and I really want to play that, and that's like all I'm interested in playing right now, but it like sucks all the memory from my computer, so I cannot play that and do anything else at the same time, including streaming, including like go on the internet. It has a hard enough time just playing it in general. So, yeah, that's not an option right now. But we're just going to do this. We're going to paint the one last sled, and I'll get that out to him since it's been like a month and I feel bad. Probably more than a month. And it's so bad because that dude is the only thing I know about him is he has a really cute dog, which is a redeeming quality in my mind. So I don't want that dog to go without. You know. So we're gonna paint this up and send it out and then just chat for a while because whatever. And if I run out of topics, I did find these topic cards that I had at one point, so I can just play with those. But I'm not sure if I will because when I got them out, I spilled them all over the floor, of course. Because, you know, life. So I was looking at them as I was picking them up, like 3 seconds before the stream started, and I'm like, I mean, they're not very good questions. Like, I mean, they're fine questions, but the whole idea is it's a game thing called Table Topics, which is cool, but you would assume it would give you, like, something to chat about for a while. But instead, it was like, one of the ones I saw was like, have you ever been a smoker? And it's like, no. Next question. It's like, I guess I can chat about that for a while, but it's not, like, that interesting of a thing. It's just I like money and I don't like needing to get up and go out at a certain time because I feel inclined to. I have enough trouble with that as somebody who gets, like, super cabin fever-y anyway. Like, I literally made Doug go out earlier because I wanted to look at the Ibotta deals that were at Hy-Vee. So, plus I wanted to get some fruit because I like having fruit for snacks and stuff, but we didn't have very many. I do have snacks. Have a snack right now of some nice strawberries. Ooh. That I might eat along with this, but yeah, we didn't have very much else for, like, actual snacks. I mean, we have... You hate going outside? I know you hate going outside. I know. I like leaving the house, but I hate being compelled to go just outside for, like, a while. And obviously, like, some people smoke in their houses, and that's fine. But first of all, I'm pretty sure this is a non-smoking apartment. And second of all, like, have you ever seen those comparison before and after photos of, like, something when it was new and something after it's been in a smoker's house for a while and it's just like dark yellow. I'm just like, no, I don't want that in my house, thanks. I'm good not having my stuff covered with nicotine. But yeah, anyway, we went to the store and we got some other fruit snacks. Not fruit snacks, but like we got some pears are in season apparently, or at least they're on sale. I don't know if they're in season. And oranges are in season, I know. Because I looked that up earlier to see what was in season right now, and then I forgot about it. I know strawberries are not in season, but I love strawberries so much. So it's worth it. Especially if they're on sale. So, really any kind of berries. We got a smoothie pack that was, the other day, not today. The other day I got a smoothie pack that was strawberries and kale, but I don't care about kale, but it also had the acai berries in it. So strawberries and acai berries, oh, so great. But yeah, I drug him out to look at the Ibotta deals because I was getting like cabin fever because I was home for, the day. That was at like 11. So it'd been multiple hours. Plus most of last night. I did actually, yesterday I had to go into work for a little bit because we're finishing up a big project right now. And it's finished up except for 4 accounts. We had to do a remediation on a specific type of IRA account, not RA. Specific type of that. So we had to go through all the accounts that were like ever made ever and look and see if everything was done correctly for the last like 3 years. I would send out letters, and then if they came back being like, hey, this is wrong, then we had to fix it, even though like those taxes were turned in several years ago. But whatever, I guess apparently you can go back and fix those. I'm not sure how, but I'm guessing it's more of they reported it correctly and what they reported just didn't match our records. Which I suppose would be an issue if, like, the IRS looked into them, but I don't know how often the IRS actually audits regular people. Like, I know they audit businesses, like, constantly. We have an audit, like, every single year. But, like, I don't know. I've never been audited. I probably don't make enough money to be audited. I'm sure there's got to be some sort of a threshold, because otherwise it's like, yes, they have their $25. I don't know. I don't know for sure. I think it would be interesting to look into that, but, like, only if I were paid, because I'm not going to look into tax legislation just for fun. We got enough other stuff to do just for fun. But yeah, anyway. I can't play Path of Exile on this, and that's all I want to do right now because I have a really fun character. I know this doesn't super make sense to people, but if you have played Doom, it's similar to Doom. But it's a very fun game, and I'm playing a character that once I get the right skills, I get to just hold the sword and spin around and kill things, which is pretty fun. But my computer's having a lot of trouble playing it right now. So, like, it keeps freezing or, like, lagging at a time when I just die then because I get hit by other things, and it's really annoying. But tomorrow, Doug has to work, and I do not, so I might steal his gaming laptop to play. So, that would be fun. And then we have discussed, also the possibility of we're thinking, not immediately, but we might look into purchasing the components for a gaming desktop. Because first of all, I don't really want to just go to a store and buy one. Looking forward to that. Yeah, and if we buy the components, I will probably stream putting it together because I think that would be interesting. I like watching things put together. So I think it'd be interesting to stream that. It might be a lot of me reading the instructions and just trying to figure out where things go, because if you get the components, most of the times they'll have an instruction with them to explain how to plug it in, because they're all plugged in slightly differently. But I have also literally had a class on how to put these together. So hopefully I kind of know to a certain extent. Like, I probably won't know exactly. Hello, is it Bagel? Bagel 1X? Hello. How's it going? But yeah, if you guys are interested in figuring out how we would put a gaming computer desktop together, I think that would be a fun thing to stream on. Just because it's a little like a puzzle. What's your name? My name is Elise. What is your name? Or I can go by Bagel, I suppose. Oh, I left my paper towel over there. It'll be fine. The name of the game I've been playing is Muhammad. Not Muhammad. The Bagel's name is Muhammad. Nice to meet you. I've been playing Path of Exile, which is great, but it really is a CPU suck. So, like, I would love the desktop because, yeah, like you're saying, it's way more powerful for way less money. Like, I mean, you can put a lot of money into it, but there's really not a super point. There's a certain point where you hit the return of investment, and it's just not worth it to go past that. I'm gonna eat a strawberry. Hold on. But yeah, so you can get a really powerful laptop for way less than a gaming laptop. Like, good gaming laptops can be like $3,000. Where are you from? Yes, I'm from America. The Midwest, specifically. Hence the accent. But yeah, like, when Doug got his laptop, it was around $3,000. And if I looked at a desktop for that, it would be like top of the line. So we were looking at specs yesterday, Doug and I. And we were like, we could get something that's very, very similar to the specs that are on his gaming laptop for like half the price. Did you buy? I mean, do you want to get into politics? Because, sure, why not? I am definitely a Biden supporter. Sorry, not sorry. But, anyway, so we were looking into that, and it would be interesting to be able to actually figure out the components, but the difficulty is right now there is an interesting thing, whatever, there's an interesting thing with sorry, he's a great leader. Sorry, I can't. There's an interesting thing with game cards right now that Doug's got my thing on too, I can hear him. Game cards are really, really expensive right now because of Bitcoin mining. So, like, something that would normally go, game cards are generally a fairly expensive thing. No, he's not. No, he's not, hun. Sorry you think that. No. But yeah, game cards are very expensive. They're probably one of the more expensive components of a computer anyway. And with that thing, we can get like, that's cool, you're still wrong. Sorry, you're still wrong. But, yeah, definitely a troll conservative. You have fun talking. I'm going to talk about gaming components. Okay. But with the Bitcoin mining and the issues with the graphics cards. The difficulty is like, it takes... We can get a really, really bad quality one now for like $500 versus we could get before the Bitcoin mining, we could get a fairly good one for $500. So it's like, is it worth it trying to buy one right now? Because like, we can invest in an actual desktop that's actually built already, but I really should look into his Twitter. If that's the seeing it blocked just lightened my heart so much. But okay, I'm stopping with the trolling. Feel free to continue trolling. I don't care. Honestly, if you want to troll away and just have a viewer, that's fine. But yeah, the difficulty is, do we buy a desktop with all components that are already, like, selected by another company, or do we make one ourselves and either have to wait until graphics cards get more unwanted? I said more and then realized I was looking to... They're less useful for Bitcoin mining, or people have them already, or do we just go with a lower power graphics card, but that makes it harder to run a game, higher game? I don't know. It's a big decision. Anyway, I'm waiting for this to dry. I've been painting these, and I think it is dry now, so that's good. So now I can get the cryptic card on. But yeah, that's been the big debate I've been having, because first of all, I want to be able to play whatever games I like, and second of all, I think it would be nice to be able to have a desktop that's just over here, because like, this is a separate desk from where I usually sit. It's like, I usually am over in a different room with my laptop, and then I like unplug everything and come over here and plug it in and make sure everything's set up, and it's like, it's not that big of a deal, but I do know there's some days when that specifically has made me not want to play a game, because I'm like, it's going to take like 15-20 minutes to get everything set up, and that's kind of a pain in the butt. Versus if something's just over here, I can just be like, okay, gonna play a game. I can play any game. I don't have to worry about my computer crashing. I mean, even like The Longest Journey, it's had a little bit of a difficulty with. That is true, but I do, however, have a degree in cyber operations, so I do know quite a bit about them. My degree's more in, like, the software side, unfortunately, than the hardware side, but I do have, like, at least a baseline knowledge of the hardware side as well, because I had to take multiple classes in that, just because there's a lot of things, like, mine is... Cyber operations is related to cybersecurity, and there are a lot of issues that are related to security that are based off, like, human factors. Where it's like, if you leave your password around, that's going to be easier. If you just find it's going to be easy to get into your computer, is what I mean. If you find a USB drive laying on the ground and you're just like, oh, let me put that into the computer and see what it does, that can be an issue. So with that, we did have to learn a lot about computer issues. Haven't bought a pre-built in decades. Yeah, see, that's like... I've bought pre-built laptops because I don't really want to have to figure out the screen issue. Screens are annoying to deal with, and trying to fit them all into a small box. Yeah, that would be... And that's basically what I've had. I haven't had an actual desktop for a long time because I was in school. I needed to be able to take my my laptop and go places, like go to a different city or like go study somewhere, whatever. But at this point now, it's like, I would really prefer a desktop for gameplay, because I think it would be a lot easier than what I have going on right now. True, it is really fun to assemble. Or disassemble. I've more done that because I haven't had a desktop. But I did get an old desktop at one point that I had a lot of fun just taking apart and looking at the pieces of. Plus, we have a desktop that's currently attached to our television that we use for, like, streaming and stuff. But it's an older desktop, so it wouldn't actually be good for gaming at this point. But Doug and I have taken that apart to, like, clear out the dust and stuff and see what's going on, and just, I like looking at the pieces. That was the unfortunate part, is I did, online school, so I couldn't really do that part in the classroom in person because it was like a multi-week program. If it was just a day, I would have taken off work and gone down, but that is the unfortunate part of not being an in-person learning, is there's some things that just do work better in person. Most computer stuff not so much, but there are some things you do miss. MacBook Pro for programming work. So why do you prefer the MacBook Pro for programming? I've exclusively done programming on a PC. Well, I haven't used a Mac forever. Your PCs. Nice. Oh, so you use it for the Linux. That makes sense. Yeah, Linux is really nice for that. I used a VM for Linux for a lot of things, just because I didn't have an extra, like, computer anywhere to install Linux on, but yeah, they're so nice for running things. Like, especially compiling, I find the way that Linux handles it so much better than anything related to an actual, like, Windows system. Sorry, doing a line, I had to concentrate. I'm trying to get the little cryptid symbol in on this again. Oh, Ruby on Rails, that makes sense. I've been trying to learn more about Python. It's like, for some reason, that programming language does not stick in my head. Like, I know it's considered one of the easier ones, and, like, more useful, more versatile, that sort of stuff. I cannot figure it out. It just doesn't stick. I do great with, like, assembly. Assembly language, x86. Oh, great. No worries. Perfect. But then I get to, like, the thing that's just, like, literally write what you want it to do. And I'm like, cannot do it. It's just not working. Oh, thank you, Rack. Is it Rack Attack? Thank you for following. It showed up on my little bleep thing. I don't usually have this up, but since I'm just chatting today, I figured it'd be easier because it's easier to actually see what people are saying. But yeah, I've been trying to learn Python, but I thought Ruby on Rails would be fun to learn too at some point. But yeah, that's the difficulty. It's so much easier on a Mac. I've heard that before. And I don't have one of those, and I'm not willing to shell it out, so that one might have to be another VM situation. Codecademy. Yes, I've actually used Codecademy. Before I started my degree is when I first used Codecademy. I tried to learn, I think just regular C. I don't remember if it was C or C++ that I was trying to learn on there. It was several years ago. But I tried that, and it did work, and then I was actually in school for a lot of that time in between, so I haven't used it for a while. But I found it really useful. I do like their programs. I don't think Python was available when I was looking at it. Say, oh, is that the one with the PHP and it's just no? I think it is. I'm gonna click on this link. Yep, it's the... Okay, so that last one, the PHP. Yeah, I 100% agree. I was actually okay at PHP. Like, it was a lot of, like, look at the textbook, try to code it. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be based off that sort of stereotype. Because I'd heard a lot about how horrible it is, but I'm like, okay, so I'm prepared for, like, the worst semester of my life. And it was a solid fine. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. None of them are that bad, and Python's not that bad either. It's just more of a... Not difficult, but I literally cannot remember what I'm trying to do. So I'd be like, alright, well, I want to put in a hyperlink or whatever. So I'd be like, okay, well, I know I do this. Hi, webcam. Okay. I know I've done this 45 times, but I'm going to have to look it up because I cannot remember anything about this one. And it's very frustrating because, like, there's a lot of codes. Languages in general have never stuck well in my head. Like, I tried to learn Spanish twice. I've had multiple classes in it, and I just don't remember. And the same thing goes with computer languages, coding languages in general, except for assembly. That one's fine. I mean, I haven't tried it for a while now, but, like, I remember the basics. But I think that's because of the limits of it. You know what I mean? Like, if you have whatever it is, 100 codes, and that's what you have to use, you have to figure out how to do it with that. I almost find it easier, because it's like, the difficulty ends simplistically. You speak 5 languages? Oh. That is perfect. So does that mean you can do the accents then? Because, that's a very important part of the language. I mean, if you go to Australia and you pretend to be Australian and be like, yeah, I can totally speak this, and you don't throw in the occasional fair dinkum. Yeah, I tried doing some of the, like, language building things with that too, like Duolingo and a couple others, and just, like, I did better with French, weirdly enough, with Duolingo than I did with Spanish, and I think that was almost because it was new, because, like, with Spanish you're like, yeah, I know, hola, ¿cómo estás? Move on. then it'll be like, okay, well, I know oui. And that's about all I remember from that class. Oh, and the plume de terre, I think. Whatever. Un momento, por favor, yeah, is Spanish. And más despacio is more slowly. So I remember that. So it's like, I can hold on for a second and please talk slower. Thank you. Which are, you know, albeit important things. I know enough Spanish at this point that if I were, like, trapped in a Spanish-speaking country, I would be able to get my basic needs met. It'd be like, I can ask for food, I can ask for water. I know what home is, so I might be able to be like, I need to get home. It would probably sound like a toddler trying to explain what was going on, but they would be able to understand. Which is, you know, market improvement from what it was originally. Where it's like, yeah, I can't speak any of this. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Which is that library? I think it's library. It's something bookish. It's either bookstore or library. But yeah, I don't know why that's like the first thing they tell you too. Like, they teach you, ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? That was like the first thing they taught in ours, and I was like, bookstore or library, that's probably not the first thing I need if I am just, like, chilling in a Spanish country. Like, yeah, I like both of those a lot. But, like, maybe, like, throw in a help the first week or something. Like, how do you say, help me, I am lost, or something? Also, like, polite conversation is kind of important, because if I was just walking down the street and someone was like, where's the library? I'd be like, Uh, good question. First thing you're looking for is a library. I mean, you gotta read up. Maybe find that book. There's the one travel book that's just the pictures of things that you can point to. So maybe you can find that along the way. That'd be pretty helpful. But yeah, otherwise it's like, why is this the first thing I need to be taught? And like, the idea with the languages and stuff, the conversations they give you are just weird too, because it's always like, has anyone ever started just a conversation with being like, hello, my name is Elise, what's your name? To a total stranger talking about nothing. Like, if you're trying to specifically meet someone, like you're in a job interview or something, okay, I guess. Hopefully at that point they know your name. But maybe not. I guess, but if you're just walking down the street, it's like, that's not the first piece of information you offer up. It's always just like, it's kind of cloudy out today, huh? I was like, nope, I guess not in this case. I'm not going to bring that up at all, because I don't remember weather. Seoul is sun. Which I remember because I think I saw it from like a Disney show as well. Very important to best teachers. By far. So, although it kind of is. I know one of my friends, when she was in high school, she had a foreign exchange student from, I think, Portugal, if I remember correctly. And, like, she had learned how to speak English almost exclusively from television. Like, they had English classes, but she knew how to speak it before she got to the English classes because she watched so much American TV. Which I'm like, that's kind of cool. I wish I could learn from that. Like, we used to watch The Simpsons in my class, my Spanish class. But not so much that I was able to learn the language. German class. I'm not going to try with the German. I have done no German whatsoever. What does that mean? I was gonna make an attempt to speak the German, then I remembered I don't know what their letters sound like. I know ich. So there's something about German. I live in a row house. That's very helpful. Are there a lot of row houses in Germany? I think they're on the sea and or ocean, so maybe. I'm not sure. But townhouse. Oh, okay. Are those similar? Row houses and townhouse? Okay. Oh, because it's in a row. That makes sense. I was thinking, like, is it the Netherlands where they have a whole bunch of houses that are literally like boat houses? There's some country out there that I've seen, like, the town is just like, it's by the street. The river is by the street, and it's just like, oh, yep, this is my floating house. Which you could row, I suppose. Yeah. But I mean, that's useful information, but also not something you would probably offer up right away unless you were trying to explain to someone where you live. Can I reach the black paint? I can. Good. Just gotta clean up some lines. Yeah, my favorite weird thing from Spanish, and of course one of the few things I remember from any classes, is El burro sabe más que tú, which is the donkey knows more than you. Which is a very, very effective thing to know. Like, top 10 importance. You gotta know how to insult people. Ah, that's really cool. I would love to live in one of those kind of houses. Like, it'd probably be really small. I need a craft room. Like, but that's about all I got. But it'd be really cool to have, like, that sort of architecture. The same with, like, the older houses. I just find them interesting because it's like, yeah, it's kind of weird, and especially older houses, it's like, well, they're hard to do Wi-Fi because the walls were built differently, and, like, they can be kind of annoying heating-wise just because of insulation changes, and hopefully not filled with asbestos. I don't know. But, like, the architecture is so pretty, and, like, the row houses look that way as well. It's just like, from what I've seen, obviously I haven't been there and like examined row houses or anything, but that'd be fun to do. So I have to, when I eventually go to England, which is one of my goals at some point, obviously post-pandemic, because I'm not going anywhere right now. That's not a country, but when I eventually go there, I will have to look at the row/town/boat houses. Whatever. Not necessarily the townhouses, because obviously I've seen townhouses. But yeah, that would be cool. Plus all the Shakespeare stuff and Jack the Ripper stuff. I'll be honest, I love that stuff. But also old architecture, because like, yeah, I'm from the Midwest. Our old buildings are like 1930s, somewhere around there. So having something that's not even from the 20th century is just like, how is it still standing? Like, castles and stuff, I don't understand how they can still be around. Like, I get that they're built of stone, but there's lots of buildings that are built of stone that are completely dismantled by this point, so somebody, like, Burger King hasn't come along and taken it yet. They'd probably want the castle aesthetic, though, because that'd be pretty cool. Burger Castle. Alright. We have the design painted on for the cryptid logo, so now we're going to do the actual hot glue part. Yay! Oh, you've traveled all over the world. What's your favorite place you've been to, then? I have not traveled very far. I realized a while ago that the farthest place I've been to, like the most southern place I've been to, is, I think, Denver. So, that's kind of sad. But I really want, well, yeah, it's got to be Denver. Denver and Chicago are probably the closest to the southern. But I think Denver's more southern. So it's like, I'd love to go to like Texas at some point to see that too, just because I've never been there. It seems interesting, but I was not a big traveler when I was younger, and I'm still not, kind of, because I get really exhausted when I go on vacation. But you know what? Sometimes it's worth it. And I just have to make sure that my house is clean before I get back, so I don't get back and everything's just exhausting because I have to clean it up. Yeah, that's fair. If you're in a party city when you're in your 20s, that's going to by far be the most entertaining experience. But I think Greece seems like it'd be really interesting. I mean, right now I know their economy's having some trouble. Or maybe it's not anymore. I don't know. Last I heard, Greece is having some economy trouble, but it happens. Who isn't right now, honestly? But I think that'd be interesting. If I was, again, I'd have to go to like the old places. This like, Athens would be great. Anything around there, and be like, these people, how? I want to see some ruins. Not actually, like, I wish they weren't in ruins, but like stuff that is that old that like it just marvels me at how it's still even there. You know? Like, alright, I've got the hot glue gun. I'm just going to glue the little tiny tree sprigs onto this so it'll look more like a sleigh. And then I can actually get it out to him, since I feel bad that it's been like 2 months. Whoops. Yeah, I think Greece would be really interesting to go to. I still think my favorite... my ultimate travel destination. Hold on, drop stuff on the floor. I still think my favorite travel destination would be England, but that's just... I love the idea of Victorian England, and I know it's not like that anymore, obviously, but there's still going to be some aspects of it that are just interesting to look at, like even historical signs and stuff. She went to all the ruins. Oh, that'd be so cool. Like, I love ruins and like abandoned places. I don't know if anyone has looked at the Twitter account that's like abandoned places. I think just that. But it's so amazing to see all that stuff. But ruins are kind of the same, where it's like, it's interesting to see what that place was, or to think about what that place was now that it's no longer that way, if that makes any sense. To look at like the ruin or the abandoned place and be like, it's just fascinating to see almost that state of like how things are now versus how they are in history, and how the perils of time has affected it. I just find that fascinating. Like, it's weird, but it's interesting. That's why I also love, there's an Instagram account that's cheap old houses, and I love that one, and also kind of want an old house, but I'm also 100% convinced it'd be haunted if I got an old house. YouTube channel where he does... Yes, I was looking into one of those. Well, I was looking into a few of them. One was really annoying because the people were screamy. And I don't, like... When I watch YouTube videos once in a while, it's okay to be like, screamy, super excited, blah, blah, and I'm like... But once in a while, I just want to, like, chill and watch a video. And apparently I was gonna chill and watch a video and not have them scream at the, like, abandoned zoo area. But... yeah, I like watching those ones too. Those are pretty interesting. Just because the video ones are, I think, better than the pictures. I just like the pictures because I can randomly find them on my timeline. So it's like, oh, it's a fun little surprise. Versus actually going and seeking them out. Yes, we do have the Native American burial grounds here. Those are super old, but they're, first of all, they're on private property. So that's not going to work. And second of all, like, they're really cool to look at from an aside, but I don't want to, like, feel like I'm interfering with someone's burial grounds by traipsing around on them. Like, if it's an old gravestone, that's one thing. Alright, well, I'm not trans, but I appreciate the thought. But yeah, if it's an old cemetery, one thing. Like, that's one thing, because, first of all, it's there as a memorial thing. But, like, also you can go and be like, oh, I will, like, clean off the gravestones, or I'm here to pay tribute, that sort of thing. But, so, like, those weren't necessarily there as a memorial site. They are just there to house the body. So that feels a little invasive, although I know the road that they're on, and I do like to be like, look at them as I pass. Doug and I have taken to the... So, obviously, it's a pandemic. We're not going out a lot because we don't want to get infected or risk infecting anyone, because I do work in an area where I have to see people. Yeah. Oh, no, you're good. No worries, man. But, yeah, I work, not, luckily I don't work with the public, but I do work in an office, so they're like office people. So I don't want to get any of them sick, and if they infect me, I don't want to get anyone else sick, so we've been not really interacting with anyone. But we do go out for a lot of drives, because it's like, oh, you know, I like driving around and stuff. And there's a haunted road. I mean, it is haunted. We've got... That's a story for another time, but when I was in college, I was in a ghost hunting group that I formed a ghost hunting group. And we went out to this road and we caught a ghost on audio on the thing. Anyway, I do love it because there's a whole bunch... First of all, there's a whole bunch of old houses and stuff along that road too, which is so fascinating. But yeah, we've been driving down around that and just looking at that area as well. So, I mean, I guess because it's like a ghost area, that's a little bit of a ghost voyeur sort of thing. But... you know, I feel like that's different. Like, searching for ghosts than being like, skeleton! Yay! But, I don't know how we got on that topic. Before we have the... Oh, God, the UK strain. Oh, that was... Like... I'm glad that it doesn't seem any more deadly, but the fact that it's, like, so much easier to catch is ridiculous. I feel you, though, because, like, around here, nobody likes to wear masks either. Literally, it was... Come back to me, camera. It was a few weeks ago that... Not a few weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago, that my work made it mandatory to wear the masks all the time at our desks. Because we're spread out. And the rule was if you were at your desk not interacting with anyone, you didn't have to wear them. Which is stupid because you're still in the same rooms, breathing the same air. It's not like if we were outside, everything is whatever. But yeah, people got so mad. Like, literally, they were protesting for a while. Not protesting, but they were just like, we're not going to wear them. It's not going to happen. And then they were told they had to either wear the mask. Please come back to me, camera. Camera. There's a ghost in here, apparently. There we go. The ghosts keep walking in front. But, what was I talking about? I got distracted. Oh yeah, they were saying they wouldn't wear them, and then they got told that if they did not wear them, they would have to go home on PTO until they agreed to wear them in the office. So they eventually started wearing them, but they would all wear them under the nose out of protest. And it's just like, okay. And like 4 of my coworkers have caught it now. Our ICUs are not that bad, I don't think, right now, luckily, because we're in a fairly rural area. Like, I'm in a big city for this area, but it's still pretty rural, so it's not a big concern. But yeah, I can't imagine being in an area where an ICU is literally full and still having people refusing to wear masks. I don't understand the logic. I get not wanting to wear them. I also don't want to wear them. They're annoying. But I can take annoying. Like, there's so many things that are annoying in general. There's like, what's one more little thing if it's gonna help save somebody else? Like, or just don't go anywhere. If you're not gonna wear it, that's fine. Stay at home. There's lots of deliveries. Like, that's probably irked me the most out of it, because I'm just like, I can't. With this pandemic would have been not necessarily shorter, because it's still going to get around a bit. But it would have been so less deadly if people actually took the barest minimum of precautions. There you go. That is great. It actually is like a great benefit in like right now outside, because it's freezing cold outside. It's like a mask, or it's like a word. They wrap around. Mostly lefts who wouldn't wear them. Not around here. But scarf. It's like a scarf, except I don't like the constrictiveness of the scarf personally. Like, I don't like things wrapped around my neck very much. Like, I can wear necklaces and stuff, that's fine. But like the scarf, it feels very claustrophobic. I'm not mad at you at all. I'm just, from my personal experience, it's been mostly like ridiculously right-wing people that don't want to wear them. But it's also hard because in this area there's like no left-wing people to judge based on, so I don't know. I think it's just stupid people in general. I don't even care what political party. It's stupid people that don't trust scientists and like basic science. Like the idea of it's literally, we know it's a particle that is spread through like water droplets in the air. We know that when we breathe, sorry, I kicked the table. When we breathe, water droplets come out of our lungs. Wouldn't we want to block them? Like, it's obvious that it does block them. Have you ever, like, been walking fast and kind of, like, out of breath in your mask and felt, like, almost, like, dewy? Like, it's so obvious that that is a thing that blocks them. Like, I know they're not perfect, but I don't understand the clearly 100% illogical thinking that that wouldn't do anything. Well, I had to allow that comment because of the genital coverings, which is fair. I'm glad Twitch is blocking that at the moment. But yeah, exactly. That hair's getting caught in my watch. That was the point with work too, where it's like, I get that you don't want to wear them. If you don't think they work, fine. I think you're stupid, but okay, sure. But like, come on. It's a work thing. If work says you have to wear it, I would be so much happier wearing tank tops at work. Like this is let me choose the side that's not exposed. This is a tank top. I love them. I wear them almost exclusively when I'm not when I'm not at work because they're so comfy. We're not allowed to wear them at work. That's not even a safety thing, but it's like that both sides would like. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know anything about Tulsi. Like, I've heard the name, but back at the start of the political campaign, like, I was so mentally exhausted by so much crap that I just was like, I don't care who they chose, honestly. Whatever. And not that I get that much of a choice anyway. I live in an area where we don't even get, like, I think we get Democratic primary votes. But I don't remember, because there was one year I asked about it and they said no. But I feel like I went in this year. So maybe it was for a different thing. I'm not sure. But, like, the vote count for anything blue around here is so small that it doesn't really matter at that point anyway. I'm still gonna do it if it's allowed, because I'm stubborn. But anyway, I got the sled finished. Back on to other topics. Isn't that cute? Which is good, because I can get that sent out to that dude now. I think he lived in... It's another country. I want to say South Africa. So it's not going to be there for a bit. But at least it's going to get there, and he won't have to wait another 2 months for me to do it. 'Cause I don't mind doing, like, the crafts and stuff. It's just when it's, like, one small thing, and I'm like, I have to get everything out to do it. It gets kind of annoying, but we got it done. So that's good. But anyway, I've apparently talked for almost an hour. I am from the Midwest. I'm from South Dakota. So it's super red here. Yeah, I'm going to eat my strawberry. Hold on. I got those out as a snack and then I completely forgot. See, yeah, I could see that. I personally think I would like it better in a Democrat state, or at least I would like it better in a state that was more split. Just because, I don't know, I get annoyed by we almost have, like, ridiculous partisanship here, which can get really annoying. I'm perfectly fine with people believing other things. But we have, like, everyone is at the conspiracy theory level, and it gets really frustrating when I'm like, literally, no, I know you saw that in a YouTube video, but you can put whatever you want on YouTube. I'm gonna put this on YouTube. That does not mean everything I said was fact. I was talking about video games for a long time of this. Like, and I feel like people don't understand that, which gets really frustrating. Like, I try not to be too political in general, since our state was added to the Union. I do agree that a lot of this is because of the media. I think some is propaganda and some is not, but it's hard to sort through because the ones that are legitimate media sources are having to fight with the, like, ridiculous parodies of media sources that are like, yeah, we're totally news. We're fair and balanced. And by fair and balanced, you mean you do give a voice to both sides. So if, say, 99.9% of the consensus is on one side and 0.1% of the consensus is on the other, in my personal opinion, they shouldn't be fair and balanced in ways of reporting. But that's just me. I feel like, especially in terms of science, we should listen to scientists. I haven't studied epidemiology. Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of people, unfortunately, that are brainwashed. On both sides, honestly. I wish people would get news from more than one source. Because there's so many things. Like, even people who just get news from a legitimate agency, but just one source, there's a certain amount of, not propaganda, but bias that comes with everything. Yeah, exactly. You have to listen to a certain amount from both. I tend to not listen to mainstream in general just because, first of all, I don't have, like, cable or anything. And second of all, I don't like it. It just annoys me that the things that they focus on are not things that are important. I could see that. I think there's... I do also watch a lot of YouTubers that cover news. I think there's probably, in my personal opinion, it's not necessarily you have to watch both sides equally. I think it's just a certain amount of being able to ascertain if something even seems legitimate. Like, if it's something that is so ridiculous that it can't possibly be true, you need to take a closer look into that. Like, say Pizzagate, when that was a thing. There was like, oh, there's this sex trafficking thing that was in the basement of this pizza joint that didn't even have a basement. And they literally sent, like, armed people. Armed people who were armed went to go check it out. It's like, if you actually think that's a thing, 100% you're brainwashed. But I think the normal person should be able to look at that and be like, that doesn't seem legit. Like, if it's a huge deal and only one person is covering it, the chances are much better that it's not actually a thing than that only one news source is covering it. Yeah, I do think it is important to at least watch or read some of both sides and gather your own opinions, especially about politicians. Because not every politician is going to be right for everyone. Just even if you look at, like, if you're always on one side, not everyone's going to be perfect. Yeah, both sides do make you think the other is evil. And that's part of it. It's easier to win if you can say that no one should go for the other side. Which has been a strategy for a long, long time. But it's gotten more prevalent now. which is very problematic to me. I think there are definitely some people, probably on both sides, that I don't know any on. I don't know who, like, right now to list, but I think there's some people on both sides that are very, very, very problematic. Right, like, there probably are some fascists on the right, there probably are some communists on the left, but I don't think they should all be lumped into the same thing, because there's some that are fine. It's like, but you have to actually look at them and, like, especially in terms of politicians, look at what they're actually supporting. Not just, like, what they're saying they support, but, like, what is their voting record? Because it's very easy to say, like, I like this, and then come back and be like, wow, you say you like that, but you've literally never voted for it. It's come up 45 times, but you've voted no every time. And it's like, you gotta look at that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's a tricky area. Hopefully it gets figured out. Yeah, I agree. If you're going to watch mostly, like, what people are saying, it is best to watch or read the whole thing, because it's very easy to take something out of context, first of all. And second of all, it can be, like, incredibly easy to base something off of one particular sentence that someone said that maybe they didn't even mean, maybe it was worded badly, maybe they were talking about a completely different context, and take that sentence and make that the whole of the person. Like, if you really, really went through this stream, you could probably pick out something that I've said that would make me look horrible if it was not in context to whatever I was saying. But we'll see if there's still an America by 2024. I'm a little worried about this next week. I'm a pessimist in general, so I'm just like, haven't been seeing good things. Very concerned. Hopefully nobody blows anything up. But anyway, I was gonna do a quick stream. This ended up being more than an hour. Because we got chatting. Which is good. I like that. I like chatting. But I'm gonna go so I can actually play the game I want to play that I can't play while streaming. So, it's been fun. Hope to see you guys around again. And I will talk to y'all later. Bye!